All right, so I was watching TED stuff today while I'm eating my lasagna. As I watch stuff while I eat, and I'm watching TED stuff on climate change. So this bitch is talking about all this stuff, why she's worried about climate change, and she's rattling off all these things that we have to do and why she's worried. And when I watch a bunch of TED talks and a bunch of things I watch on the internet, I'm it's not that I'm not worried about climate change. It's there are some things that get me more hopeful for the future, and I'm worried about America, but the rest of the world I'm not so worried about, which kind of pisses me off because America should be leading the way. We used to lead the way, but it's not so much anymore. Um, it almost feels like China is leading the way now, which is kind of effed up. Um, but that's neither here nor there. Um, so it just feels like, and I see some weird shit going on in the United Arab Emirates. They are building some amazing places. They took their oil money, and instead of building or buying, a bunch of weapons and having a horrible dictatorship, what they did was build a fucking fantastic city and not necessarily a democratic environment for everybody, but just it's like just a wonderful place for everybody to live. And I don't know how the social structure works. I don't know if everybody's really happy there. I didn't go and research that, but it's just everything looks fine, and the sewer system is fantastic. Everything is new and sparkly, and so they built all these very new things, and everything is very without using the word new too much. It's very God damn it. High tech, but well engineered. Um, it it works well. It's very well designed, and everything is green. So it doesn't. They built it so that it doesn't run on oil. They made oil money, and then they designed their city around renewables. So they were like, okay, yeah, we made a bunch of money on oil, and they were like, this stuff ain't lasting forever, so we're gonna power everything with solar technology, which is kind of like I don't know if you want to call it weird or not, but what it's like what I thought to myself when I was like, if I were like BP, if I were one of those big oil companies, what I would have done in like 95 to 2000, I would have been the ones that put all my money into solar technology and battery technology. So I was the first to get all the patents on I would have raced to get all the patents on solar and battery technology because I would have had the vision to see that's the future. But they didn't have the vision to do that. And now other people are doing it, and I don't know if they're gonna survive into the 21st century, because now other people are doing it, like Tesla and other companies. So they're They're a dying breed, I think. I think they're going to die. But you know, they should have hired me as their president. Because then I would have spent all their profits. I would have spent $5 billion into grabbing up any kind of scientists that knew what they were doing, and all kinds of research into it, um, to make that shit work and work well. But you know, old men don't know what the fuck they're doing. They can't see into the future. So yeah, whatever. Anyways, so this bitch, back to what I was talking about. This bitch was getting all concerned about it, and here's the thing. Here's what I've learned recently. She's worried about the West, and she's worried about everyone putting out more CO2, and we have to reduce our emissions and stuff like that. And she got into talking about developing countries and how they're going to start putting out a lot of coal emissions. And I started to think, you know, they're not going to really put out nearly as much coal emissions, because I've heard a whole bunch of stories about how all these people, they're not using coal plants. They're not using centralized power systems for, like, the farmers aren't using it and stuff. Maybe some of their cities are using it a little bit, but all of them mainly are starting to turn to solar powered systems and renewables when they can. And that just makes me think more and more. A lot of these people, when they have the option, are going to turn to solar because it's becoming cheaper and cheaper. And as it becomes even cheaper, because the price is just going down, 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 and it's already cheaper than a fossil fuel. So it's already cheaper, and once you buy it, you know, it's free, and you get batteries, so you can just store the excess for nighttime usage. So it's already cheaper once you buy it. You know, it's free. You know, as long as you don't break it or something like that, you don't have to worry about it. So yeah, I'm just saying, I'm not really all that worried about the developing world, and their future carbon emissions, because I don't think they're going to put out. I think they're going to leapfrog the whole fossil fuel thing, by a large degree. And I think the West is going to start converting at a much higher rate now. I think people are going to get more solar, because I've seen the solar cells that are transparent and that are, you can make them into windows. So they're windows at the same time they're solar panels. So you can turn all your windows into solar panels. You can look through your windows, and at the same time your windows will be charging your fucking house. So no more need to have them on your roof. They're just your windows. So, and they work like at, I don't know, it was something like 50% or something. It was some percentage of the capacity of the solar cells on your house. So at the very, at least it'll reduce your energy bill by, 80% or something like that. So as long as, when they get the technology down to a sale, a marketable price, because it's pretty cheap already, but that version needs to come down probably. I don't know, they weren't talking about price, but they never mentioned price when they're showing off the new shit. They never mention how much it costs to make until they're ready to sell it. Um, it's a great idea. And yeah, they get a show off a prototype. But yeah, I gotta have a working copy and production line and stuff. Anyways, when they got that fully developed, you know, everybody's gonna have that in their house, and then they're gonna make they're gonna put that on all skyscrapers. So every window is gonna have it. You're gonna have a solar cell. You're gonna have that on your phone. You know, so whenever you're walking around or whatever, that's charging. You're gonna have that everywhere. All these little things that they're gonna have. So we're just gonna be using the sun and all these little things, and then pretty soon, and then think about this. They're going to just start wiring everything together and create an electricity grid with that. And another guy has found a way to he's called it Li-Fi. So, you know how you have Wi-Fi in your house? He made it with light. And it goes, I don't know, it connected like 100 times faster or something like that. So the connection speed is faster than a cable or Wi-Fi or something like that. It blew it away. Your connection speed was way faster. So when that technology gets, you know, when his thing gets past the demonstration stage, that'll be fine. And you know, it was really good for. He said he demonstrated that it was really good for rural and stuff places because you don't need to develop an infrastructure for it. So Li-Fi, you know, there's all these really great things that are coming around that are going to supplant the current technologies. And with Wi-Fi, I'll bet you can combine that with all this stuff and integrate it to work together. You know, charge it. You know, it'll all work together. So I'm not. As long as we don't have big business interfering with the implementation of this stuff, which that scares me, by the way, because big business and corporate interests like to suppress technology that would supplant them. As long as we don't have that, progress will take place. But they like to hold their position at the cost at any cost, and if they will burn the planet to the ground just to keep their just to keep first place. You know, they'll kill their grandchildren effectively just so they can keep making billions of dollars, which is, you think they would realize that's counterproductive, but whatever. And like I said, they should have been the ones to realize investing in that was the right way to go. I mean, they're an energy company, they're not an oil company. Oil is energy. Solar is energy. Figure it out. Um, maybe they're just aliens trying to terraform the planet. Like I say, aliens terraforming the planet by heating it up. And so that's the note on which I will leave to my future self. Aliens terraforming the planet for their future usage.